Hi, I'm Rowland, one of the psychologists at ATUNE. In my last blog, I spoke to you about disrupting one of the patterns of depression, which is about withdrawal and inactivity. This time I'd like to speak to you about another pattern that we can get caught in with depression in relation to thinking. Now, we're always making up stories and explanations in our minds to explain the world around us, and so to help us to understand. So my 5-year-old is jumping up and down, yelling on the bed at 10 o'clock at night. Maybe this is because she's had too much sugar and she's overtired. So this kind of explanation can be quite helpful for us and help us to make changes in a positive direction. But when difficult things happen, hard or painful things happen, sometimes the narratives or stories in our heads can actually spin around and lead us down a path into depression. If I'm passed over for a promotion at work that I really wanted, or if my partner breaks up with me, or my child's behaviour keeps getting worse, or I fail an exam, there might be some really plausible explanations for all of these things. But what can happen in my head is I start telling myself, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, maybe I'll always be single, maybe I'll be stuck in a dead-end job forever, maybe I'm a hopeless parent, maybe I can never get it right. And this can become depressive rumination. These thoughts can spin around and around in my head, keeping me awake at night and distracting me during the day. And before I know it, the maybes have started to sound like truths in my head, and it started to pervade my whole sense of who I am and how I feel about my life. So how can we break out of this pattern? Well, the first thing is to understand it. Once we begin to understand that the thoughts that naturally pop into our heads, the explanations that we tell ourselves, may not actually be true, and even those kind of based on truth may not actually be helpful for us to continue to focus on and dwell on. Once we start being aware of that, pulling back and noticing our thoughts, maybe sometimes changing the explanations that we give ourselves, we're already on the way to disrupting that pattern, and we can begin to think in a more healthy and helpful way. So a lot of people find that this process of disrupting the patterns of unhelpful thinking and creating alternative explanations, combined with what I was speaking about in the last vlog about increasing levels of activity and engagement, can really set them on a path towards recovery from depression. So I hope some of that has been helpful. Please look at our website if you're interested in more information, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.